The championship table is hotting up at the top and down near the bottom. There is so much to play for, but when we get back from the international break, there's really not all too many games left. So let's have a little look at how the table could look when we get to the end of May. Before we do, guys, do make sure to hit that thumbs up button. We'll go for 201 likes on this video. Do make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It just really helps the channel, and do make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to get your championship fix. As you can see, if you look to the table beside me here, there is so much to play for. Burnley are in a league of their own. They are doing fantastic, but the battle for second is very fascinating between Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, and maybe even Luton. The battle for the top six is very intense as well, with Blackburn and Millwall wanting to hang in there, while Norwich, Coventry, West Brom and Watford are all trying to close them down. And then down near the bottom, you've still got Wigan, Blackpool and Huddersfield in that bottom three, but they have been picking up some results, so can they close the gap on Cardiff, Rotherham and QPR before the season runs out? I've spent a few hours today doing some calculations to see what the championship table could look like when we get to May if some certain circumstances were to play out. The first one is, of all the championship games we've got remaining, some teams having 8 games left, some teams having 9 games left, we're going to use the reverse fixture and pile that on top of these results. For example, if Coventry beat Stoke away 2-0, I'm putting that they'd beat Stoke 2-0 at home. I know it takes current form out of the equation, but it'll be interesting to see what the championship table would look like if the reverse fixtures are matched in the reverse games. And this is what the championship table looks like. As you can see, Blackpool come bottom with 40 points. They're only set to pick up 5 more points in their final 8 games if they were to play the same results as they did in the reverse of their final few games. Huddersfield come in 23rd with 41 points. Wigan in 22nd with 42, going down on goal difference as Rotherham crawl over the line with 42 points, but a better goal difference than Wigan Athletic. I personally think Rotherham will get a higher points tally than this, but this is obviously taking into account the results they picked up at some stage earlier this season, and apparently they weren't doing very well during these games. Next up, Cardiff City, 48 points. They're surviving by 6 points. You've got QPR, who have actually ended the season quite strong considering the poor run of form they are in. Hull City, Bristol City, Birmingham, Stoke, Reading and Swansea make up the rest of the bottom half, all in the 50s there. You've got Sunderland, who come up with 62 points. Preston North End with 63. Norwich City with 69 points. Watford getting up to 70, but only finishing 9th. West Bromwich Albion with 71 points in 8th place. Millwall with 73, falling short of the playoffs by 1 point, where Coventry City do jump in there in 6th place. Of the final 8 games remaining, Coventry City have actually won 5 of these games reversed. The one that stands out though that I'm not too sure about is, are we actually going to beat Middlesbrough away? Because we did beat them at home, but they're certainly a lot better this time round. But Coventry would actually get up to 74 points, and that would be enough for 6th place. Very interesting. Blackburn with 76, Luton with 76, Middlesbrough only getting up to 79. As I say, it's taken their current form out the window, but don't worry Middlesbrough, we're going to look at a different table in a minute. This table would certainly suit Sheffield United, as they'll come second, 14 points clear of Middlesbrough. Just goes to show how much better Sheffield United were than Middlesbrough in the first half of this season. And Burnley will rack up 105 points, which is incredible. They could technically get more of that and could break a couple records this season. So that is the championship table based on if the final results are the same as the reverse earlier in this season. We're going to look at another table now, which is going to use the current form table. Now I know most teams have 8 games left, so we're going to use the amount of points they've picked up in their previous 8 and add it to their next 8. And as for the teams that have got 9 games remaining, we'll use the points they've picked up in their last 9 games and add it on. And this is what the championship table will look like if the current forms continue. Wigan Athletic will finish bottom, not even making 40 points this time. They're going to be relegated 6 points clear of safety. Next up, Blackpool, who've actually picked up a couple more down to their form here, 42 points, but still coming 3 points short of safety. Huddersfield will finish 22nd and only go down by 1 point. So Huddersfield Town's current form does have them marginally better than the other teams in that bottom 3. They'll be hoping though that they can get a little bit more than that to try and get themselves out of the bottom 3, because they've actually been relegated here by 1 point. Queen's Park Rangers have crawled over the line. QPR have actually only picked up 3 points in their last 8 games. So if I add 3 points on to their next 8 games, it'll take them to 45 points, which will literally just be enough for QPR to survive. It looks like Gareth Ainsworth might get his team to crawl over the line. They might pick up a bit, but this is based on their current form. Next up are Rotherham with 49 points, the same as Cardiff City as well. 49 points. Reading and Birmingham both tied on 52 points there, coming 8 points clear of that bottom 3 in the end. Swansea with 53 points. Hull City with 54. Bristol City with 57 points. Sunderland finishing in the bottom half with 61 points this time, and that's because of the form of Stoke City, who are actually going to jump into the top half with their current form. They're going to get up to 62 points if they keep doing what they are currently doing. Watford with 65 points. Preston break into the top 10 with 66 points. West Bromwich Albion with 69 points. Norwich with 72. Millwall once again just missing out on that top 6 by 1 point, as their current form will get them to 74 points, which is sometimes enough for the top 6 but not always. And Coventry City again are going to sneak into the top 6. Based on Coventry's form, we could be expecting 75 points come the end of the season, which is usually enough, and it does have us just ahead of Millwall again. Next up, Blackburn and Luton again tied on points. This time they're going to collect 79 points each. Sheffield United will only get to 83 points, and Middlesbrough will go past them with their current form, getting up to 86 points. So the current form table does have Middlesbrough to get to second place, as they're playing much better than Sheffield United over the last 8 or 9 games. Burnley once again doing fantastic, 104 points on this table, and that is how the Championship table will look if the form continues after the international break. So then guys, do share your thoughts down below. It's interesting looking at the form table and the reverse fixtures of these final few games to see what the table could look like. It could go absolutely any way though. We all know the Championship is so unpredictable. How about you try and get your predictions down below? Which 3 teams do you think are going down to League One? Which 2 teams are going up automatically? How many points do you reckon Burnley are going to get? And which teams are going to just sneak into the playoffs? As a Coventry fan, I've got to say I'm delighted that these 2 things are pointing towards us getting there. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get there, but it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Do make sure to drop a like, do get those comments in, and do make sure to subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.